Welcome to Enviro Close-Up. I am Carl Grossman. We're talking about the Waterkeepers. Those are people who are looking out towards our bays and our lakes and our rivers and our inlets, often these days in this country and around the world, polluted. Andy Willner is the Baykeeper for the New York, New Jersey area, actually the New York, New Jersey Baykeeper. And Kevin McAllister is the Peconic Baykeeper. He works out on Long Island, eastern Long Island. Andy, Waterkeepers, I mean, where did this movement get its start?
Well, it started back in England with the concept that river keepers and gamekeepers were hired by landowners to manage private streams and private holdings for hunting. In this country, the idea started in a book by Bob Boyle called The Hudson River, A Natural and Unnatural History. And in that book, he has a short paragraph in which he describes a river keeper on every river, someone who knows where the striped bass are running and can tell the highwaymen where they can and can't build their roads. And from that one paragraph and a collaboration with John Cronin, the first Hudson River keeper back in the early 80s, a movement that's now worldwide, over 150 water keepers, all of them stewards for the individual water bodies over which they see. And this is unique in that our collaboration internationally comes from a grassroots up foundation. But what I think drives all the water keepers is a pretty straightforward kind of golden rule concept. And it goes like this. Everybody has a right to use our commonly held natural resources, but nobody has the right to use them to the detriment of anybody else. And I think that's what drives all of us. And you know, and Kevin certainly is the epitome of what a waterkeeper does. And it's a pleasure to be with him today.
Kevin, why doesn't the government do this? I mean, there's the Department of Environmental Conservation in your state, in New York, the Environmental Protection Agency, or the City Department of Environmental, I think it's Protection. I mean, where is government? Why do you have to have civilians, so to speak, waterkeepers, baykeepers, and riverkeepers to do this work?
Great question, Carl. I actually spent a number of years in Florida working in government. I'm a biologist by training, and generally you come out of school looking for environmental work, government's the source. And I found out very quickly that in a way they're shackled by politics. And being in the position where I was doing environmental enforcement and protection, a lot of times because of the nature of the bureaucracy and again the politics, they don't want to rock the boat. The status quo is many times acceptable. And I think our role is to cut through that and to really ensure that the spotlight's put on the issues and to keep pressing buttons to ensure that these government entities are in fact addressing issues of concern. The community is well informed and engaged in positive change. Is
New York City, in terms of its waterways, salvageable at this point?
The Hudson-Raritan estuary, which is really the New York harbor, is an estuary where salt and freshwater meet. It's the most biologically diverse part of the ocean. The New York harbor or Hudson-Raritan estuary, the waters surrounding New York City, are even more biologically diverse than most estuaries because Staten Island and western Long Island and northern New Jersey are actually at the southern limits of most northern plants and animals, and at the northern range of most southern species of plants and animals. So therefore, what happens is there's such an extraordinary mixture that Staten Island may be one of the most diverse, biologically diverse islands in the entire country, perhaps the world. That's right in the middle of New York City. Water quality has improved since the passage of the Clean Water Act and other federal laws and adoption by the states of those laws. And so, on balance, water quality is improving, things are getting better, but we have chronic problems like every other estuary in the country. 15 million people flush their toilets into the water surrounding New York City. So just on balance, that one thing, sewage treatment, becomes a major issue for us. The EPA actually said that combined sewer overflows, when it rains, street water and sanitary sewage all come out of the same pipe without abatement, is the worst problem facing urban estuaries today.
Just describe quickly, if you could, Kevin, and your day. I mean, you guys don't sit in offices.
There's some element of pushing paper like the rest of the world. As Andy said, we're trying to affect policy changes. We're trying to enforce the laws, trying to educate. So, in the course of my week, there might be, a couple of evening meetings with, community groups, trying to inform them of issue of relevance. Writing biological assessments, describing the potential impacts to the resource from a potential project. Interacting with the media a lot. In and out of schools. What's key is also the water time, right. And if you're going to be credible as a spokesperson for that water body, you have to feel it. You have to live in it, and getting out on that boat, for the sake of what we call patrolling. It isn't so much always, okay, we're going out to look for the bad guys. No, you have to feel the watershed. You have to feel the water body to really understand its changes. Is the water green today? Is it clear? Those subtle changes, what fish stocks are moving through. And with that, again, that connection to the waters, when I take the podium, go to the podium and try to either move a group or elected officials and try to articulate, how this issue relates to overall health, when I have a good working knowledge of it, I'm more persuasive in my speaking.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for your work. You've been watching Enviro Close-Up. The subject, the Waterkeepers. For a copy of this or any Enviro Close-Up, just go to our website, envirovideo.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Carl Grossman.